Yes, people, we are with Perran here today for a client interview. I've been working with Perran for the last 6 weeks, and within that time, he's put on a staggering 7 kilos while staying the same body fat percentage. This guy is an absolute unit. So today in this video, we are going to show exactly how we've done this. We're going to talk about everything that we've done in terms of getting him from skinny to absolutely jacked. So let's start. So the first thing that we've done to start with, we came in for a little introduction. We've done his body stats, worked out all of his measurements, worked out his strength point to start with, because we know that his starting point for strength and starting point for measurements, if we can increase that, we are making progress. Okay.
Absolutely.
So when you came in, do you remember what you done to start with on terms of deadlift, bench, squats?
I think my bench was it 70 kilos for free?
Yeah, 70 kilos for free.
Squat, I want to say we did 100 for one, but I got a bit of a twinge.
Yeah.
And then deadlift, was that 90?
Yeah. 90 for.
Yeah, 90
Do you tell the people what we've done now in terms of?
Oh man,
We've been six weeks.
Within 6 weeks, my PB on deadlift is 120 for 10, I think.
Yeah.
My squats up at 110 for 10 or 15, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a bench. I'm not even sure what my bench is.
oh mate, we're repping out 75 kilos for 10.
Yeah.
And this guy, when he first came in, could only do 70 kilos for free. Could only do 90 kilos for free on deadlifts. He's doing 120 for 10. Now, we're 6 weeks in. This guy is absolutely blown away with results. His measurements are absolutely through the roof in terms of how much size he's put on, which is absolutely crazy because, when somebody normally comes in, within a 6 month period, they might put on, in terms of muscle, you might put on 2 or 3 kilos. This guy has absolutely blown my expectations out the absolute water because this guy's coming, he's making me look small now. This guy coming in smaller than me. Within 6 weeks, he's absolutely smashing it. But anyway, we're going to talk about sort of how we've done this, what we have done and what we've implemented to get these sort of results so that you guys at home can make sure you get these sort of results as well. So the first thing that we have done is we track everything. If we track it, we can measure it. If we can measure it, we can improve it. So what we do with Perran, tell the people.
So every day when I'm waking up, I go onto True Coach, I track how many hours I've slept, and then I jump on to my Fitness Pal. I'm logging my breakfasts, I'm logging my lunches, my dinners, my snacks, anything that I'm drinking throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, I go back onto True Coach, going back onto that habit tracker. I'm looking at what my energy levels were for the day, how hungry I felt for the day, and what my stress levels were. And they're the things that I track every single day, day in, day out.
It's all about being consistent. If you can be consistent in something and you can be disciplined enough to know that you're going to be accountable, you are going to make so many more results than just hoping you've hit your protein, guessing that you've hit your calories. This guy I've been working with for 6 weeks. We see his average every single week for protein. It's always 200 grams of protein, average. This guy's hitting 200 grams of protein averagely per week. It is insane. His calories in the 4,000s average every single week. This guy is absolutely smashing it. And he's not eating junk. All the time we're tracking, it's not junk food. Here and there, of course, I always say to people, 80-20. But this guy is always having his protein shakes. He's got the protein shake on him right now. You're having, 2 shakes a day at the moment?
1 or 2 a day, yeah. Yeah, 1 or 2 a day.
While eating mainly whole foods, really, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I won't lie, when I started, I was dirty bulking. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I literally the first 2-3 days, I was dirty bulking. I was like, man, it's gonna be a piece of piss. I woke up every morning, I felt like shit. I actually felt like ass. Yeah. And then I just didn't want to work out. I felt like my progress wasn't gonna be as good. So I was like, right, new week, new me kind of mentality. And just went at it. I was like, right, what healthy foods can I eat? And I actually fell in love with cooking again. And just really got back into cooking really healthy meals and batch cooking. And that's one of the easy things is okay, I know that I've got my meals for the week set out and that's my protein for the week. So now I don't even think about it. 200 grams sounds a lot. It's where do you find that from? But it's all there. It's already done. That's the best way forward. Yeah.
Whole food, steak, eggs, chicken, rice, man. They're going to take you from where you are now to, points you've never been to. I think a lot of people, me included, you've done it as well, have dirty bulked in the past, and it is probably the worst thing that you can probably do to your body. In terms of, man, I always suffer with acne. I don't know for yourself. When I was dirty bulking, man, I was getting acne left, right, and centre. It is the worst thing you can do for your body. So I always recommend just, 80-20%, 80% clean foods and 20%, have your downtime. Go out for a few drinks with your mates. You can have that downtime. When you're 80% consistent, your results going to skyrocket. Right, but in terms of workouts, I'm going to run you through what we sort of do for workouts. We are on a hypertrophy sort of training at the moment. So every single training session that we do is designed to put on as much mass as possible, okay? So I see Perran one time every single week. That's all I see him, one time. He lives about an hour away from me, and he does everything sort of from his local gym or from home, don't you?
Yeah, I'll probably say like 90% from home, and then my bar's gotten, I can't get enough weights on the bar now, so I'm like, well.
I'll insert a clip now of the bar just bending.
yeah. So I'm having to go to gyms for the plates, but yeah, mostly from home, and then one session a week here, man.
Yeah. And I know what a lot of people are thinking right now, he's travelling an hour away, and a lot of people would say that's too far to travel. Would you sort of like elaborate and, explain why you sort of travel in terms of what you get out of the sessions and how much it sort of means to you?
Yeah, by all means. I mean, the main thing is coming in and actually having somebody holding you accountable. And, when you get to those like bits of the reps where you're like in your last couple reps and you're like, I could just leave it for today. I don't want to push it that whole way. Like even just now, man, like I got to like 9 reps in on bicep curls and I was like, that would have been me done. Like if I was at home, I probably would have dropped the weights and been like, I'll just rest now and then I'll go for another set later.
Yeah.
But Gabe pushed me. He was like, yeah, you got another 3. And I didn't think I did mentally, but he believed in me. And actually sometimes you got to borrow somebody else's belief in you. And I think that's really powerful. And that's a really, really big reason as to why I come here is you just push me beyond what I feel is possible for myself. And then it's growing my expectations and my beliefs about myself. So not only is it like growing me physically, it's actually growing me mentally as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just that physical growth.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that, man, you can't really put a price tag on that. I'd travel the fucking world for that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
man, I love it. No, I love it, honestly. Yeah, man, I think, a lot of people sort of get in the phase of, they're not willing to invest in everything. And I feel like the more you put in and the more you're willing to sacrifice, man, I think, on average, you're paying, what, £30 a week to be here. Yeah. And I think you can't put a price tag on that, man. I think a lot of people sort of think, £30 a week, but then, go get a takeaway. Go to Domino's, man, or whatever it is. Yeah. But you are so committed and so determined to actually reach these goals. I've been working with him 6 weeks, and you guys have probably seen the transformation. You've probably seen point A and now point B. Yeah. I'm just excited for the next 6 months. I'm excited for hopefully the next year. To see you where you are now and to see where you can be. Coming up to next summer. Oh, mate, it's insane. It's a pleasure to work with. So if you guys sort of have any questions in terms of what you should be doing at home, feel free to drop us a message. But the most important thing is to track your food and track what you're doing every single day, okay? With the workouts as well, I just want to elaborate on another thing, is every single workout that we do, we track, okay? So let's say he does 70 kilos on bench press for 8 one week. The next time he comes in, we're doing 70 kilos for 10, 12. Whatever we can do, we are making sure that we've got stronger, because we know that a stronger muscle is a bigger muscle, okay? There's not been a single time that you've ever come in here and you've got weaker. There's not been a time where we've loaded up the bench press and you've gone, okay, let's load this up, and you've been like, I've got less reps. Every single time you've come in here, you have got stronger. And we know, people, that strength is a big indicator to muscle growth, okay? A stronger muscle is a bigger muscle. So for you guys, make sure if you're going to be tracking your workouts, you are getting stronger each week. If you're on a fat loss journey right now, make sure that your cardio is increasing, okay? Make sure that you can do more length or time on a run, or you can do more distance on a rowing machine. Make sure that you're increasing in something that you're trying to achieve. If you increase, you are getting better. You're heading in the right direction. A lot of people want the big win. They want to lose a stone in a week. It doesn't happen like that, okay? You want to build habits that are going to last a lifetime. And I think personally for you, you have.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, small steps consistently rather than like one giant leap. Yeah, I mean, this is proof of it. Like looking at that before, I still go back and I look at that picture and like, it literally looks like a different person. Yeah. But like it looks like me when I was like, I imagine that person is like my like 18-year-old self. But it's like, it was literally like 6 weeks ago. It's like, that was this year, man. Actually
literally like 1 month ago, just over a month ago.
But just going back to just sort of like, you know, the value and stuff like that. The way that I looked at it, right? Like when I was drinking, I didn't feel like I was drinking excessively. I was, you know, going out the weekend to probably have a couple of pints during the week. I'd usually just have a pint when I was playing pool, which would turn into like 2 or 3 pints, and I'd do that 2 or 3 times a week, and then the weekend as well. And it soon sort of added up. And I actually thought, right, I'm going to sit down and just work out how much I'm spending on alcohol. I was spending like £400 a month on alcohol, and that wasn't like I say, I wasn't like going out and like getting blackout drunk or anything like that. It was just like a few beers here and there during the weeks. And then at the weekends, I'd probably like, you know, have a few beers or go out for some cocktails or something like that. And I spent that for like a 3-month thing with you. And I was just like, man, that's mad. Like what I'd spend in a month on drinking, I've then just invested into myself, into something that is not only going to benefit my health, you know, it makes me feel more confident. I carry myself differently. My posture's improved so much just because I've gotten stronger. Like I don't sit there or like stand like this anymore. I'm like, I literally sit like chest up. I feel proud. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you can't really put a price tag on that, but it was definitely worth more than a month's worth of drinking for me.
And sort of elaborate, you know, you said something, you know, very quite nice to me actually earlier. You said that you took your shirt off and you were thinking about taking your shirt off and you were proud to take your shirt off.
Yeah. I went to a really nice sort of like open space in London at the weekend. It's like this gorgeous like gardens and like park and everything. And actually like walking down towards where this lake was, I was actually like so pumped to get my top off. Where before I'd always be a little bit like I do it anyway, but like there was always just this little voice in the back of my mind just being like, should you? People like listen. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know, I feel like I'm definitely not alone on that. Especially like I feel like a lot of like quite tall guys are often quite skinny, and I always struggled with that, with like putting on that mass and getting a bit more bulk on there, whilst also getting that strength. But yeah, just the confidence was through the roof. I was literally like running down there, like already like rushing to get it off.
And this guy, you know, he's not small. You know, he's a 6'2" guy. He's a tall guy, and you know, when you're sort of taller, it can be hard to fill out your frame a little bit. And obviously,
I struggled with it so badly like in the past, and I genuinely felt like I tried everything. But you know, the one thing I wasn't doing, I wasn't tracking.
I know you were going to say
I was not. I was not tracking. I was just like everything. I was like, well, I've eaten loads of food today.
It's a classic.
I don't know how much is loads of food. I don't know if I've gotten the right things in me to actually, you know, grow. And I definitely wasn't, because I wasn't growing. So it's mad that like it's actually like knowing the right things to do and implementing that. And again, I feel like I can't put a price tag on that, and that's why I come to you, is because you're an expert in this. So that's why I'd rather come to you than just like muddle my way through and guess it.
Like I say, if you can track it, you can measure it. I see your average breakdown of carbs, fats, fibers, and calories every week. If your calories weren't there, if your protein weren't there, I'd be on your case, and you know that. So that's why you do it. And it's having that somebody to hold you accountable, because it can be so easy just to slip off the rails. You know, not track it a few days, and it just brings it all down. It brings the average down. Oh, I've only had 2 bad days, but it brings the whole week to absolute shit, really, doesn't it? But you know, I think, you know, Perran's an absolute prime example of the more you put in, the more you get out. You know, he's always buying new piece of equipment for your home gym, like there, always. And I think, you know, if you're willing to, you know, go that extra mile, you're going to get you're going to reap the rewards. You're going to get everything you put in, you're going to get out. So, I mean, I'm kind of absolutely happy with that interview. Is there anything that you sort of want to elaborate with everyone?
Just if you're on the fence about it, just get off that fence. Come and do it. Like, what have you got to lose? Yeah,
there's nothing to lose. You've been a pleasure, man. Well, that was the worst handshake that we've ever done. But yeah, I think, you know, we've got, you know, minimum 6 weeks together. I think, you know, you want to stay on. I think
100%.
And I think it's been an absolute pleasure to have him so far. And yeah, we're going to keep smashing it. You're going to keep seeing him on the socials. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. Right, that's a better one.
Yeah, finish on that.